Welcome to the first episode of Streak the Mic in 2025. Today, I'm joined by none other than Jordan Rutherford, Amateur Fighter of the Year 2024. Now 1-0 as a professional, 5 times belt holder. Welcome on, Jordan.
Nice one.
How are you, brother?
Really, really good, man. Really good.
Next sortie, next fate. Neither by chance, no fate.
Through hard work, mate. That's what I stand for. Like,
what does that mean to you, and where did it come from?
So that's actually just like a little. It's actually mad, mate, because it's my second name's motto.
Clan Rutherford.
Yeah, so the Rutherford clan, like that's what the tartan was all about and all that. But just it's my second name's motto, and obviously without even realising, it just suits me to a T, lad, because there's no talent there. Do you mean it generally is just hard work? Do you mean like what's for you won't pass you by, and I feel like this is it. So
it's boss, lad. I seen it on your socials for the first time, and then I seen it was on your fight kit, and I think have you got it tattooed on you?
Yeah, I've got it on my back.
I seen it when you took your shirt off. And I was like, yeah, so I was intrigued. That was one of the first places I wanted to take it.
I mean, I'm buzzing. Like I love it though, man. It's just it kind of like suits me to a T, and then like, it just suits me. Do you mean I love it?
What separates the great from the good, in your opinion, Jordan?
Discipline, definitely. I feel like being consistently consistent. Do you mean I feel like that is massively the difference. I feel like I've asked a few people at the top as well, like what it takes to kind of be there, and just say discipline. And I feel like I've already got that kind of discipline right now, where like people, it's standing out to other people as well, and obviously my performances and the little consistent run of wins is obviously speaking for itself. So,
is discipline something you've always had, or is it something you've struggled with in the past?
Nah, definitely not. Struggled with it all my life. Generally,
do you still struggle with it now, Jordan?
Nah, not really. I wouldn't say now. Now, it's kind of like I feel like now that week after my fight, I felt like coming back to MMA. I was like, "Oh no, I can't believe I've got to go back to fighting." Just because I kind of like let the week even though it was only a week, but just eating loads of shit, not doing anything, no training, nothing. Like I need discipline in my life because I was going a bit like
wild.
Yeah, like what am I doing? Like they even want to go back to fighting. But it was just the discipline was just kind of leaving my body, and I was like, no, I need to get back in the gym. Like so, this week I've been back in the gym every day, and I'm back in camp basically. So
routine is very hard to find. It can be difficult to find, but it's easier to keep once you're in the rhythm of it, innit?
Definitely.
Once you find that rhythm and you're in it, it's just getting going and getting momentum.
Same with anything, like when people say they want to go to the gym, and it's just like once they start, and it's just like keep that first week going, and then after it, you're there, aren't you? Like you're in the gym now.
Showing up's the hard part, definitely. Once you're like, fuck, can't be arsed today, but once you actually get wherever it is you're going, you're like, and you never not feel better for it, do you, lads? You always feel better for it.
I've got loads of mates that even just like, it's just coming to the gym, just not just to hit pads with me, my mates and all that, and they won't. The second they're in, that's them in. Yeah, it's just like getting your foot through the door. Like anything, you walk in the gym, you think everyone's looking at you. No one's really looking at you, lad. They're just cracking on with their own life.
Yeah, no one's asked. We all feel very self-important, don't we? But we're not.
JSP says a certain thing about it. He's like, say if you like, for instance, if you lose a fight, or just for instance going to the gym, like you think everyone's talking about you. It's like no one's really asked.
They forgot about it by the time they had the tea, lad. Once they turned it off, they have a little talk about it for a couple of minutes, and that's it. It's old news. You had an amateur record of 9 wins and 2 losses. Now you're 1-0 as a pro. You've been at both ends of the sword. But like over the past year, as an onlooker from a fan's perspective, you barely took off with the sport. What do you think changed?
Mate, it was just kind of really putting 100% effort into it, like quitting my job, just like making sure that when I quit my job, it was kind of like, right, this is it, because I was 28 when I quit my job. Do you mean?
How old are you now?
31.
So
I was 29 when I quit my job.
When you quit your job, what were you doing at the time, Jordan?
I was just labouring, fixing houses. Not really a labourer, like a skilled labourer. Do you mean I've always been able to do stuff on the tools.
Was it a very, very scary thing to be doing? It's a ballsy thing to do, to leave your job, lad, to go and follow your dream.
Mate, it wasn't even a dream. It was not even a dream, mate. Like I said to you, it wasn't a dream, man. It was only really like when I just used to I liked fighting.
Do you know on the amateur side of things? Obviously, you've recently turned pro, and we're going to talk about that. We'll touch on that a little bit later in the conversation. But at the time, you're just an amateur fighter, or we'll get a bit deeper on the story, how you got there. But your outlook wasn't like, you're this massive prospect who's ready to turn over. So it's like, I'm going to swerve my job so I can so I can work on, on my craft. It's like you just love fighting and you're prepared to swerve your job. Where was your income going to come from at that time, Judd? Did you know?
No, really, no. I kind of just I always wanted to have like a kind of like freedom and being able to train and thing, but I knew that PTing was the way to go. So even just hitting pads. So once I got one belt, it kind of, once you get a belt in MMA, people do want to come to you, and that's kind of sense. So I got like a couple of PTs, nothing financial state, nothing mental. And then I lost a fight, and I didn't really feel like I had my belt. And then I went to Thailand, and it was only when I was in Thailand I made that phone call to my boss and was like, listen, because I was surrounded by loads of people with a different mindset. They were all like, the way they were training to fight was just more like, it was like a career.
And you really are a product of the environment, aren't you?
That's what I'm saying, mate. Like, so I was just kind of like, I was listening to all these people, and I was just surrounded. I was like, I'm not even thinking like this. But these are the guys that are going places, so I need to. As time went on out there, I was there for like 7 weeks.
Did it inspire you?
Mate, massively. I literally was with one of them, and he was like, "Go on, quit your job now, then." I was like, "Do you know what? Fucking right, I'm Christmas Eve, lad." That's a very good Christmas Eve, lad. Sure. He was in Tenerife or something. My boss, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Mate, don't worry. I'll stay with you till I find. But I'm going to help you find someone." And I went, "Don't worry about it, man. I've got like 4 weeks. I'll find someone." There's a £200 bonus. And I was just like, awesome, I've ended on good terms. Now I was like, but I had a good fight coming up against like an Irish prospect, someone who was, you watch him and I was like, shit man, I went for a good fight.
Yeah, he was credible.
And I'd obviously just come off a loss against someone else who was really good in Ireland. And I was like, do you know what, if I can't win this, what's the point? I was like, because then I was like, what is the point? Like if I'm not beating these kind of guys, how do I expect to beat these kind of guys?
When you're you know, when you look at a video or you watch a little bit of footage and you see, you know, the potential that the other fighters have got, Jordan, you know you're getting in there, how does that make you feel?
I just feel like it's mad because I've always been like a bit of an underdog going into all my fights because I've always went in to take on the champions and I've never said no to anyone, and it's just, but that's just because it's just like, there's no point, because whatever you are thinking, he is thinking the same.
Yeah.
You're just not in his head.
Yeah.
But that's the way I deal with it that way. Like, well, he hasn't faced me yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's the way I'd kind of say to myself, well, he hasn't faced me yet. Like, I'll show you at some point in this podcast, but in my phone, I've got like it's almost like a spell, because it's just like, it's loads of affirmations, it's loads of like, It's like, I am too fast, I am too fit, I am too strong. It's like, he hasn't faced me yet, he hasn't faced me yet, he hasn't faced me yet. He's like, just loads of little things. Like,
I'm big on mindset and I love
massively,
that.
like all the universe stuff, law of attraction. To be honest, I'll show you, it's something like, it takes me about 7 minutes to read. I'd say it to myself through camp morning and night.
If you truly put feeling behind something and you truly believe it, it manifests, don't it, Jordan? It can happen. And I know like that sounds cheesy because a lot of people are manifested this and that. But it's like, if you put it 100% into something and you believe it, if you start from the end, if you believe it before you can actually see it. I am a
literally like proof in the pudding. It happens, mate. I've got no talent by me. I've not done this all my life. I've only started doing this when I was 28. Had like a white collar before that, you know, not taking training seriously whatsoever. Now, no one would have ever thought I'd be in this position now.
If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your
hand. I did, mate. I did turn up on the mat every day at Aspire, get my head punched in, and just like, everyone was like, almost not laughing at me, but just like, the Jordan thinks he's going to go. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's a big ask.
It's a big ask thinking. What you're thinking, Jordan, is a massive ask at your age. Do you mean? And then just turning up every day. I used to think about it morning, noon, and night. Do you mean it's true? Like attracts like, a vibration attracts a vibration. Just like stuff like that, mate. I'm massive on it.
So am I.
Crazy, mate.
So am I. Like that's my whole life's based.
People don't want to put in the hard work. I bet you when you first started this podcast, lad, it wasn't nowhere near what it was going to be.
No, it weren't at all. And when you actually mention it to people and you say like, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to get guests on and blah, they're looking at it as if to say, you're crackers.
I remember going back to after one of my amateur losses, and my gran and granddad just like kind of like grilling me. I hated it. I was just like, what do you know? Like, I can see what I'm going to do. Do you mean like, why you bothered? Do you mean like, and they're just like, no, you're older, like, you should be having. My family aren't like that with me. You know, I'm like the black sheep of the family. Yeah. They were just saying, like, you're getting older now, put yourself into something you're actually going to earn some money. And fighting, you don't really earn any money now anyway. But I know I'm going to earn money. Yeah. Do you mean like, because
you've got a vision, and now there's no fucking plan B.
Yeah, there isn't. And if it doesn't, I've got all my PT and stuff to fall back on now from the fighting. Like, I've fully booked in PTs. I coach the kids at the gym, coach your kids at the gym. It's just.
You're a great coach. The kids love training with you. You know what's mad as well, mate? I know so many people from combat sports that it's changed their life. Like, it's changed my life. And I'm not a professional athlete, but just being in with them people, being around them people, being in the gym, you're around people who are driven and successful, and it also helps in your everyday life, in, you know, your attitude towards everything you do, whether that be your job, your family, you know, everything. And it really, really does. It can help mould you. So there's a lot of people who I know from combat sports who are massively successful, not so much as a fighter, but in their lives themselves. And a lot of it comes back to going in the gym.
Massively. Well, this is what I was going to say. Like, do you know, even if I see where I'm going with this now, I generally do see my name in bright lights and all that in front of thousands of people. Do you mean I do? But even if not, the man it's made me from just being in this, like, in general, like, I've now got kids that generally look up to me, like, they all call me the jock. It's just like little things that, like, I never, mate, honestly, never thought.
When you made your debut, we had it on in the telly in our house in the living room.
And I love you, little Ivan the boss.
And all the kids are watching, they're like, oh, there's Joe, and they're shouting for you, lad, and that's what you're doing.
Stuff like that right now is making me feel like I've got kids that, like, this is why, like, I want to be big on, like, the look, just do it the hard way, buddy, look, it's you versus you, because no one tells you that type of stuff. Like, people think you can just turn up at the gym being talented and that's it.
Yeah,
talent
no,
only gets you so
way.
far. It's like the grind. Like, my fights, most of my fights has come down to, like, I've got into really talented guys, but then my hard work and my heart's got me through the fight. Not because of that, that's not the only reason I've won. I'm just saying, like,
it's how bad you want it.
Yeah, how bad you want it in that fight. Do you mean, like, do you want to go all the way or do you not? Do you mean?
You grabbed 5 titles in the space of 12 months, which is unheard of. You were voted Violent TV's UK MMA Male Amateur Fighter of the Year. How does that make you feel when you hear that?
Boss, mate, there was another one I got voted on that British MMA scene. Just two massive pages that when I first started fighting, these were the pages that, like, I was following, watching all the other guys. So, like, the way that they're reaching out to me now, like, I was at British MMA scene's first interview, the Violet Money, never spoke to him in my life, and then messaged me one day saying, you've just won Fighter of the Year, and I was like, wow, what the hell? I was like, I've followed you for years. Do you mean, like, I'd always watch all, but do you know what I mean, watching all the other lads, so, like,
brilliant,
stuff like now, and I'm like, oh shit, like, you have to take a second to be like, shit, I've actually come quite far.
Got to pinch yourself moments.
I've actually come quite far. Not like that really matters, but in a sense to me, it's like to other people now people know who I am.
Is it a marker for you, Jordan, to show you, you know, your accomplishments type of thing, where you're going?
Massively. Well, even just the belts, I didn't really feel like, it was only on my last title fight where I felt like, wow, I'm going in here and I know I'm going to win. Do you mean, because I'd never be cocky with myself. I wouldn't get too ahead of myself when I'd be like, I'm going to kill him. Do you mean, like, because I'm quite humble. I don't want to do this and change as a person.
Fighting humbles you anyway. Like, a lot of great fighters, you'll see, some are egotistical, but a lot aren't. You know, they're down to earth, they're very grounded, they're nice people, because they know the grind and they know how hard it is, and you can never get ahead of yourself. I think complacency can be the undoing of some people. You've got to work hard and you've got to put it in, and you've got to be very real with this. This is only going to go 2 ways: you win or you lose. And both men are prepared and trained.
That's why when people are saying, like, are you just going to go out there and get a quick finish? I'm like, well, nah, because I'd rather be in there for the 15 minutes, get the experience in, and just, like, be up against. I know that's when someone's there, they're coming to fight.
My man's not turning up for a quick finish either. He's not thinking, I'm going to come and have tea and biscuits and lie down.
I'm respecting the fact that, look, this guy's trained his arse off, and it's MMA. Do you mean anything can happen? It just takes one tiny punch for everything to change. So I don't want to get too ahead and, like, fixed on, I'm definitely going to finish him. Because then when it comes down to
the best lose, the very, very, very best at the top of the game, you have moments, and people have off days, and you can't have off days in this sport either. It's not that type of game, but it happens.
That definitely. I will always, through my camp, like, the one thing I'll always say is, like, on the night, if I was to get beat, which I'm not even thinking about, if it was to come down to that, it would generally be because the better man won. Because I will not get in there and take a fight knowing that I have not trained.
Yeah, you leave no stone unturned.
Because why? Then I'm in the back thinking about a couple of days that I missed, or, like, a couple of sessions that I missed. Why? Like, what? Because of my own choice.
Yeah, there's questions in your mind.
Because my life's set on now where I don't have a job, so my only job is to make my training sessions and PT around it.
Do you know, for the viewers who are watching, like, you know, in a build up to a fight, there's so much pressure, isn't there, mentally as well as physically. Because the days are getting harder, you're getting closer, and in that camp, when you're getting lighter, you're tired. You know that it's going to come to time where you've got to make weight. You're having sparring sessions, you're getting beat up. You go home, you feel like shit. You've got niggles, you're aching, you're training. It's hard life, innit?
It is in a way, but, like, I enjoy the fighting. So the actual fight itself, I don't care about. Like, I'll get in there with anybody just because I like a fight, but that last fight then, my pro debut, I was nervous in a way, because I wasn't nervous about the fight. I was nervous about, like, on Fight Pass, my mum's there for the first time, my bird's there for the first time.
FCC's no joke either.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a decent setup.
Shows, different venue. Then I had the 5 belts. Then I had, obviously, my pro debut being spoke about as, like, one of the best, most anticipated debuts. being number one in the UK.
There was pressure, mate.
There was loads of pressure, which I was like, I wasn't bored. I actually have to do well here.
Newton Matos as well looked crazy. Like when he was coming to the cage, like you could see, crazy Brazilian. I think he was a black belt kickboxer or something.
Yeah.
So you know, he had credibility behind him. You know, it's a different level. Obviously, you know, it's not an amateur fight anymore. It's professional, as you say. It's the big stage, and this kid has come to win, and he's come all the way from Brazil.
He's got nothing to lose as well.
No, yeah, and he looked wild.
Yeah, did he look crazy?
When he was doing all the banging and that, I was thinking this is going to be a banger because I was thinking you're wild, so this is going off. Know what I mean?
But it was just that first 30 seconds in that fight was just more. I was more thinking about what he was going to do and what I was going to do type thing. In a way, but then obviously when I got down to the ground, I was like, I've got time to work here. Like, don't rush anything. And that's when he started making the mistakes, and that's when it ended up being different. But
it did, yeah. Well, so I want to touch on that. In you, I just see you as a wild jock, like you're an animal lad in the cage, you're nuts. But you're very tall, rangy and awkward. You're hard to deal with. Your striking is one thing that, like when I look at you, when I see you in around the gym and that, I know you're difficult to deal with because of your sheer size. You're tall and you're very rangy. How would you describe yourself as a fighter, Jordan?
Do you know what, mate? It's like it's hard to find because I've kind of took the back and I started this all at the same time, the grappling, the striking. So I feel like I'm just as good as one as I am at the other. Do you mean like I'd say I'm quite mixed, but obviously now I'm starting to learn. Obviously, because I've not done it since I was a kid. I've not got all the habits of being long and rangy. I'm just picking them up now. So I'd really say I'm getting more dangerous on the feet now, definitely, but I'm just as dangerous on the ground.
Tall and rangy fighters seem to carry power as well. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone
like in striking they do. Like I know, just like through being like boxing in the amateurs and stuff like that, when they're tall, like people seem to see like small and stocky and think, wow, he's going to be strong. I've always found when they're skinny and tall, they can fucking whack, lad. They're the ones who can punch.
Dean and like Joe Tonks and that say, like, lad, they haven't seen nothing yet because I'm winning these fights at like 10% of my potential. Does that make sense? So like, I'm actually like, I could do 20 times better.
The crazy thing is as well, you like what you're saying, you've got so little experience, but you're achieving things.
I'm getting better, like, and better.
Could you imagine when you tap into all them areas? It's not like you've hit the ceiling where it's like, yeah, we've got him at his best now.
No,
it's
mate,
like
I'm not even like Joe. I'm still doing all the like I know like from when I spar to when I'm in the cage. I've not clicked yet from the gym to the fight yet. Do you mean like obviously I'm getting better inside the cage on fight nights, but I've not done this long. So like people are like, I haven't done it long. So listen, when I do hit that potential, it'll be time to go. You know, so but that's what everyone knows. Everyone knows that I haven't hit it there. Like Dean even says to me, he's like, lads, like when you start clicking, stuff starts clicking. That's when it'll be dangerous. Everyone says it. And so looking forward to it, obviously, because I've still got plenty more to come.
Aside from all your physical attributes, which you seem to have in spadefuls, like there's a massive mental aspect to what you do. How do you prepare mentally for battle? How do you reinforce your mindset? Even just to be a fighter on a daily basis. You touched earlier on, you've got affirmations and that. Are you very, very big on mindset, Jordan?
Yeah, massively, but it's just, mate, honestly, like I swear the one thing you can do to fix doubt is take action. You know, like go.
Is that where your belief and self-confidence comes
massively,
from?
Just training hard, mate. Just getting in front of like the guys that are bigger than me, like Hader can. Like even I know it's funny, but like standing with Hader. And just like, you know, like just get into a bit of like a little fight with him. Or just, not saying just that, but I'm just saying like turning up, mate, and just actually doing well in the gym because the gym is harder than the fight. Action
kills doubt, doesn't it? When you wake up in the morning, you procrastinate and you start to feel anxiety because you're not getting on the move. But when you get on the move and you start doing things, the feeling goes away.
The fighting is just the same as life. It's the same as someone else's job, someone who paints. Do you mean stuff like that? Just it doesn't really matter what kind of job it is, selling cars, painting, like anything. If you start doing stuff correctly, shit starts to happen. I mean, it's just the same as anything. So it's just like you have to, having a bad day, just go fix what you need to fix and get the little chores done. Or not anything. But it's just the same in there, mate, like with the fighting. It's just doing more boxing. Like I'll feel shitty and I'll go hit some pads and I'll feel better.
Feel great.
Do you mean it's just
running and pads are a medicine, aren't they?
Massively, people don't get it. You have to have some type of like. I love the fact that like the kids and all that do it now because it's setting them for when they're older, having all that in them anyway. But loads of people need to start doing all this kind of stuff, like running, hitting pads, stuff like that. That's even just taking action, just going on a run. You're just fixing it, your health. Doing stuff like that, just little things.
Your mental health's a massive, massive one, and being mentally strong in that game is such, it's key, isn't it, really?
How you feel before you run to how you feel after you run is 20 times your endorphins are all going, and that's how you should feel.
Marvin Hagler had a boss saying, and it was feed the faith, starve the doubt, and that's one I'd repeat to myself all the time when I'd be
100%.
training. Like if I'd feel nervous and that, I'd just repeat, feed the faith, starve the doubt, feed the faith, starve the doubt. It helps you.
If you watch all these, or listen to all these quotes of all these great people, boxers, everyone, like all this stuff, all transcends into life that you do now, but just in a different tone. Do you mean like Muhammad Ali, like all these sayings that they all say? If you actually break them down, it's like, well, that would work in normal day life anyway. It doesn't have to be fighting. Do you mean?
Yeah, you can. It's a transfer of skills, isn't it? You're just moving into different places. How do you stay composed under pressure?
The fact that no matter what, I've got to get in there anyway. So like that's what I was saying. Like, you know, so walking out in that cage on that fight.
Do you struggle with it, Jord?
No, not one bit, because I just think I've been here before. Do you mean like I've been here loads before? That was probably that pro fight felt like a bit of an amateur, my first amateur fight, just because I was like,
Starting again.
Yeah, like now it matters. So I was like, now it matters. Like now if I take a loss, it could set me 2 steps back. Because obviously the win streak is what gets you places and the finishes and stuff like that. So
100%, yeah. It's a big setback, innit? A loss is a setback.
So if you watch me in the cage, like, you got, not even that matters, mate, but they got like a different version of me song. But like, so I'd pictured it coming out to a certain beat, and I was like, oh, it's gone, the beat's not there. I was like, fuck
Paolo Nutini, you normally have.
Yeah, well, I had that Tash Sultana Jungle. That's probably going to be walkout tune for a little bit now, because I actually love it, and I still want to build off like my program like that. But when I got in the cage, that's why I was bouncing off the walls, because I was like,
want to get in the zone, want to get in the mode.
Because I was like letting the pressure, and I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm fucking got some game Brazilian that I'm having to fight for 15 minutes. I was like, snap out of it, Jane. So I was like, bam, bouncing off the walls, just like get in the zone. And that was like when I was like, that was when I was saying to myself, like, fight or flight, doesn't matter now.
Do you have any pre-fight rituals, Jordan? No, like when you get to the cage side, like I see, like Curtis Campbell always Curtis is a bat. I've had Curtis on. Curtis is heavy, and he does, yeah. Like he always touches the floor, and I asked him why he does that, and he said like I clean it, because like so it's fit for a king, because I am a king, and like he's got that in his head, and he always has his chain on. His dad takes his chain off. He's got certain rituals and routines.
So I try and not have any superstition. This is why I always change my song. Do you mean? I'll always change my song. Yeah. I'll always try and get different shots. Just because it's like I want something to be different, you know, where I'm not like I'm relying on that. But that night on the pro debut, everything was different for me that full day. Everything, venue, song.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's like different people are different, and like, you know, some are superstitious and all that. My first ever fight, I won and I boxed great. I had it was a coin, and I put it in my boot. In my head, right, I thought that's going to help me and all that. My second bout, I wore the same fucking boxies, lad, everything. I put this coin in my boot, and I got smashed.
Yeah. See, it doesn't.
So it doesn't. It means fuck all. And I come home and I was like, what, that fucking coin shite. But it weren't. I was.
Yeah,
you know
that's why I was saying, like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's no superstitions. Like McGregor used to say, he's like, what do you mean your superstitions? Like, I could get up off this chair and warm up and kick your head in. Do you mean?
McGregor's a don. Well, he was a don of the sport.
Mad how he's wearing, like, but the stuff that I still.
McGregor is up there, lad. Like in terms of like mindset, his approach to everything.
I'm not going off McGregor at all, because I don't see myself watching any videos and copying anything. But I'm just saying, like, I know that the mindset I've got was similar in a way, because he knows what it takes. But his is more, it's hot. How to put it? There's too much going on in life to like have like to take everyone away out from it right now. Do you mean I've got too much going on? I coach the kids. It's like, it's different. His set was different. Like, I feel like I can do it authentically, doing what I've got going on now. Do you mean like he had to take himself away from everything and that? But Do you mean I've still got a life to live?
Yeah, so and you've got to get on with your daily whilst you're
that's what I'm saying.
Your dream.
Exactly, mate. But I generally do feel like it's going in the right direction. Like, so
it is. It's 100% is. You know, you're sitting here today because it is going in the right direction, and we've got to have one foot in the real world and one foot in a dream world. Beyond the octagon and away from the gym, in your art of arts, who is Jordan Rutherford? Who are you, Jordan?
Do you know what, mate? It's a hard question, that.
Let's get
I just feel like, that's what's all good, mate. I want to. I just feel like I try and live my life being a good person, mate. You're right, that's just a general. You ask anyone, my girlfriend, my mum, my mates, anyone that knows me will always say that I'm a dead nice guy, and I try and live by that. But at the same time, mate, fucking like, I have got a violence to me, and that's where I try and let it go out on the fighting. Do you mean? But apart from that, mate, I live a good life, mate. I've got a happy life. Do you mean? Like I generally strive to be a nice
Would you
person.
say you're a lover more than a fighter?
Yeah, in a way. But mate, I've got demons. Do you know what I mean? Same as everyone has. Do you mean like I battle with myself most days and just like little things. Not as much now, but my whole life before the fighting was just.
Let's touch on them demons, and let's touch on your background and your early life. Whereabouts in Scotland are you from, lad?
A place called Livingston. It's like in between Edinburgh and Glasgow. It's like the equivalent to like Warrington to Manchester, Liverpool.
How old are you now? You're 32?
31.
31. So you would have been growing up in the 90s. What was it like growing up in Livingston in
It's
the
hard.
90s?
It's hard.
back
So
then?
only people that are from Scotland and Glasgow and all that will say like because it was very like I don't know what the gangs and that are like around here, but when I was a kid, my whole life was just fighting. And then like young
Jocks
teams,
are fucking mad, aren't
just
you,
young
lad?
teams like 50 on 50. Just most people get that's just mad. It's just like people would get jumped every night. Fucking loads of stabbings. Like just loads of little things. Mate, like as I growing up, like I lost my brother. He got stabbed. Do you mean just like when I was younger? Do you mean I've obviously had friends
Wow.
stuff. Nah, but obviously, mate, I don't want to touch too much on that.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
saying, just little things. It's just like growing up, it was hard. Do you know what I mean?
Are you troubled still from that now, Jordan?
Nah, I wouldn't say nah. I wouldn't say it was kind of more like what went around came around when I was a kid. Do you mean like? And I'm not saying that in a way like that. I just mean like when I was a kid, it was more just like there was a lot of violence growing up for me. In this outside of me home, nothing to do with me home. Just growing up in Scotland, same as Liverpool though, lad. Like you think I'm not daft, mate. Just because you don't see all the stabbings and shootings, it doesn't mean they don't happen.
There's a lot of it going
You know
on.
what I mean, like my first ever fight was in the Olympia, on a white collar. I was telling you about before that. And my two mates come down and my best mate got stabbed in the Olympia pub, and that's why that Olympia pub shut down because of that. So just like, just saying in general, like
It happens. It's everywhere.
my mum used to say like I attract bad scenarios. Do you know? Do you mean? So
What were your aspirations as a child?
I didn't have any, mate. I swear to God, I didn't have any. I just growing up, mate, I was only good at like one thing, and it was the dodginess. Do you mean that? That's the truth, mate. My whole life was completely different before fighting, mate. Like completely different.
School? Was you academic all switched on or
Nah,
fucking around?
left school when I was 14. Fucking went to a thing called Bless. It's just like a bad school thing. Do you mean like, and then got kind of kicked out of that as well. Do you mean it's just growing up, mate? I wasn't like I was a little aggy kid. If that makes sense. Do you mean like
Yeah.
I was the kid that like people would never thought I would be like if thought I was going one place. Do you mean jail or fucking dead? That's what people used to say to me. Like,
If it weren't for mixed martial arts, do you reckon?
yeah, I'd probably say that because obviously, yeah, definitely because that's kind of what got me not really going back towards that way. So definitely.
Can you share your journey into MMA with us and what initially drew you to the sport? Can you tell us the story about how you ended up becoming who you are today, Jordan?
Okay, so when I was 17, my mum asked me if I'd just kind of go away and just from where I was living, just because I was going down the wrong direction and I actually didn't really want to lose me as well and stuff. And then she says to me, then I went and lived abroad. So I lived abroad for 6 years. I lived in Ibiza and I lived in Tenerife. So I'd done Tenerife in the winter, Ibiza in the summer. And I kind of met a girl that brought me back to the UK. And then kind of when I come back here, I was like, oh, well.
Was it wild prior to that, before you met her? Did she calm you down, Jordan?
In a way, yeah, because it was more just like, it was more just living abroad. It's just wild, isn't it? 17 to things. I didn't meet her till I left, to be honest. So, till like I was ready to leave anyway, like the last 6 months. And then come back here, kind of just didn't really know anyone. So I was like, look, I want to try and do something here. So I went and I basically done a white collar from Aspire.
So you spent 6 years away. I beat at Tenerife. When you come back, did you come back to Liverpool?
Yeah, I come back to Liverpool. But I didn't really know anybody. So I was like, how can I go out and meet people? 'Cause I'm not really from here. Do you mean I was like, oh,
Was it strange for you?
Strange in a way, because I knew everyone when I was abroad. Do you mean? And coming back, only knew a few people, but they were still living abroad. And then basically signed up to a white seat. Come back, it was mad. So it was like my phone was listening to me. I was like, how do I meet people? And then that white collar thing popped up on my phone. I was just like, oh fucking hell, that's brilliant, man. Fucking, I love a fight. I was like, so I'll sign up to that. So I done a white collar boxing, and then won that. Dean was like to me, oh,
Who was the white collar with?
ultra white collar.
Was
so
it?
The ultra one, the ultra
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so like I'll tell you in a second something about that as well. So when I'd won the boxing one, Dean said to me, he's like, oh well, because I kept watching MMA. Dean was like, oh, but it was 3 weeks apart.
How did you know Dean?
Just from didn't know him at all. Just like went to Aspire. He was obviously taking the white collar with that Alan Philpott. And then they were like, when I won the boxing one, I was like, oh, when's the next one? They were like,
I see. So the camp was run out of Aspire.
yeah,
right.
the 8 week free training, 8 week free training was ran at Aspire.
Yeah. So you've met Dean Garnett in Aspire at this point.
Met Dean Garnett in Aspire, and basically just said to him like, look, when's the next one? And he was like, oh, there's one in 3 weeks. It's just MMA. You won your boxing. Why don't you just do the next few weeks, just learn takedown defense, and then get back and then get into it when you thingy. So I done that, basically just done that as well, then won as well, and I was like, oh fucking, I love this.
See the MMA one.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Not me. Honestly, I like to fight, so that's what I'm saying. I didn't care about performances back then. It's like I didn't give a fuck. So I actually just wanted to fight. So I actually was like buzzing the fact that I got to fight.
Yeah.
And then obviously done that, and then I took then Dean was like to me, so I'd only trained for something like 6 weeks or something. I'd had these 2 white collars, and then Dean says to me, hey, stick in. He's like, oh, can I get a PT? And I got a PT. One of the coaches, one of my friends had a show coming up in 2 weeks' time. Bear in mind, I'd not done any training. I swear I couldn't even throw a 1-2 properly, because street fighting's well different to fucking fighting, mate. Well different. So then I done that, and then Dean says to me, oh, do you want to stick at it to get on the next white class? Oh no, I've fucking got an amateur fight, Dean. And he was like, whoa, what do you mean you've got an amateur fight? He's like, nah, like, chill out, what do you mean? And I was just like, oh, my mate's got a show in Scotland. He says, do not fucking take that fight, mate. He's like,
you'll get smoked.
You can't even throw like a punch. He's been real, mate. You can't even throw a punch like properly. He's like, don't do it. I was like, yeah.
That's why I was asking you with the MMA stuff. I was thinking.
Well, no, so I done it. So then I took it anyway, and I won. Do you mean I finished the kid in the 3rd round? But if you watch the fight, it's the worst fucking fight in the world.
Was it a boxing fight?
No, it was MMA. It was amateur MMA. No shinies, nothing. So I done that, and then goes in the gym, and Dean was like, right, you've won that fight. And I was like, I felt like a fighter when I wasn't a fighter.
Yeah.
I generally felt like, oh, I'm the bee's knees, yeah. Anyway, goes in. Dean was like, right, now you've won it, stop it, because you can't just take fucking amateur fights. He's like, because then people won't fight you because you 1-0. These guys that should be fighting you when you're 0-0 will not fight you now because you've had a win.
Yeah.
He's like, it won't be the same. They won't want to take on
someone. And now you're going to start having harder fights
now.
That you don't
Anyways, fucking, I think I got to training something like 3 or 4 more times. Just a normal class. Wasn't even like trying to train. Was probably off and on the mat more than I was on my phone. Do you mean on my phone? My mate rings me again. Bam, next show's in a month's time. I was like, yeah, sound. Told Dean. Dean was like, fucking, you take that fight, you're never training here again. I was like, no. I was like, why? And he's like, do not fucking take it. He's like, what, you're going to go 1-1 or 1-2-0, and then now no one will fight you because you're going to have to fight better guys, and you're not even ready to fight the guys you're fighting. Because he's just been real, but again, thought I was a fighter when I wasn't a fighter. Anyways, took the fight anyway. He hated me for it, lad. He fucking. So, anyways, I takes the fight in Scotland. Bear in mind, I've probably been on the mat now like 5 or 6 times. Not even like. So I've done MMA something like maybe 8 sessions or something. Still can't even defend a takedown, turning the wrong way and everything. Honestly, mate, like. Did not know how to fucking fight at all, because I was still getting battered in the gym every single day and getting taken every time someone tried to go at me. I was getting taken down. I couldn't defend nothing that was getting thrown at me. Took the fight anyway, got subbed in the first because the kid was 5-0.
Yeah.
The kid was 5-0, and I was just like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. So I beat him, and I can show Dean that fucking. I took the fight, lost, got subbed out in the first round. I remember going into the gym that morning, on the Monday after. Coming in at my head like that, and I could smell. I was like, I could hear Dean. I walked through the door, and it was like I got like a big burst of anxiety. I was like, oh shit, I've got to go see this cunt now, man. I was like, fuck. So I walked upstairs, and he was already like, it was almost like they were waiting. There was like six of the fighters there waiting, like, oh, just stop talking. He's like, see, I told you. He's like, you see, taking fucking stupid fights against guys that Marlon and Liam should be fighting, and you're like taking them like. He's like, I respect how game you are, Jordan, but stop it, lad. He's like, I can't have you fighting here. If you're going to fight me. But then that's when I was like, yeah, whatever.
You needed to listen.
Well, that was when I wasn't listening. I was still like, my old mindset was coming back, and I was like, I know best. I was like, yeah, whatever, lad. Like, you fucking, like, if you're saying that, then what's the point of me training here? Then I was like, just kind of, then that's when like me dark road kind of started, just kind of getting
What
into
happened?
Nah, just kind of went back to, was like, do you know what, fuck, I'm just going to get back to doing what I'm doing. Do you mean started just like getting back to the growing weed and all that kind of stuff. Do you mean stuff that was just kind of leading me down a bad path? On it. But I'm glad I've stepped away from all that life. But that's when I was like, I'd done like a year out of that, didn't train at all. You know, obviously I got nicked. I went to jail.
What did you get nicked for, Jordan?
It was just the growing weed on a scale.
Was it?
Yeah, growing weed. I had a big graft on as well, and I didn't really get nicked on that at all. Do you mean? So that was when I was like, right, I didn't get nicked
It was
on
a
that.
wake-up call
I
for
was
you.
like, if I got nicked on that and that to get, I'd be away for a long, long time doing so.
Where did you get nicked? Here in Liverpool?
Here in Liverpool, I went to Walton.
Did you?
Yeah.
How long was you doing Walton
I
for?
got 32 months.
And what did you do with the 32 months?
7 months.
Yeah, so it was okay.
Yeah.
During your time in jail, what was that like? Can we touch on it briefly?
Yeah, man. Mate, I'm a big, tall jock lad. Doing it, and most of the people I was on the wing with, I knew some of them as well. Do you mean from my business beforehand? So I was kind of, so, do you mean? But obviously at the same time as that, like, because I'd had the little fights that meant nothing, but to someone else,
They did.
they think they mean a lot. Do you mean? So when
So you were living on that a little bit?
not in a way now, because I was like, I wasn't fine, but it got me no trouble, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because the
because
lads
they
in there,
knew you
like
could have a
Jordan, the
portion.
fighter, yeah, they were just like, so there was lads on the wing. Like, I remember the second day I was in there, lad, fucking as soon as I got to the main wing, there was fucking some kid popped out his cell, lad, I fucking shit myself. He's like, lad, pads. He's got 2 flip-flops with the fucking socks on. He's like, come on, lad, some pads and that. I said, you in a fight? And I was like, nah, lad, because if you say fucking yes to one, then we'll have to fucking say yes to the wall.
Yeah.
So I was just like, nah, I was like, nah, no chance. But then I just kept my cell to myself, mate, seeing some madness in there, like, as you do, but
Was it a rough jail?
it's Walton, mate. It's fucking. I was on that G wing. It's called the Jungle and that, lad. But I didn't see much because it was COVID as well. But you weren't allowed out. You weren't allowed out. It wasn't like locked in all day. It wasn't like locked down all day. You still had your socials and stuff like that. But it was more just like, if you went looking for trouble, you'd find it in a heartbeat. Do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you mean there's people that are there is Aggie kids in there, you on it?
Yeah.
But it's just one of them.
If you kept yourself to yourself, you'd
Yeah,
be all right.
yeah, exactly. People think it's, but you keep yourself to yourself. But I'm a tall jock and I had kind of mates already in there, if that made sense. Like,
with having all your privileges taken away, and actually finding yourself wound up in this gaff where you can't really move or do anything, and all your outside life had been taken away, did that give you time to reflect and think and make you want to fucking change paths?
yeah, mate, that was it when I was in there. So this is what I was saying. Like when I was in there, I just started writing letters. Bear in mind, I hadn't spoke to Dean or seen Dean. So Dean, I don't think Dean knew who the fuck I was, to be honest. He never. I know he never, because I hadn't seen Dean since that conversation about the being wrong for taking the fights. So a year and a half later, he's just getting a random letter from fucking jail saying this is Jordan, remember me, done the white collar, I took the fights. I said, listen, I'm using this time of year now to really focus on this mindset. When I come out, I'm going to turn up at that gym every single day. And I started writing in the letters, I was like, at the time, Marlon and Liam had all the belts. Do you know what I mean? So at the time then, I was like, using them as like pinpoints, if that makes sense. Like, so I was like, listen, when I come out, I'm going to have all the belts like Liam. I'm going to be the hardest worker in the gym. I was like, and he was just replying, be like, yeah, what? Like, be nice, you know it? Saying, yeah, no bother, just turn up, blah, blah, blah.
So, do you know when you sent the first letter, Jordan, sorry to stop you there, was you thinking to yourself, I wonder if he'll write back?
Yeah, because obviously I had one number, I had like a lad from the gym's number at the same time, and I was obviously speaking to him saying, oh, did he say? And he's like, yeah, he got the letter and that, he's going to write back to you and stuff, and I was all buzzing. Do you mean?
When you get that letter back and you'd read it, did it give you legs in terms of like,
it was more,
fuck yeah, there's something on this here?
That, because at the same time I could see that he's like, he didn't have to know who I was, he was kind of just being nice, you know?
Yeah, he was just being polite.
He was being polite, but then obviously when I got my tag date, he was literally saying, like, we get you tagged to the gym and all this kind of stuff, and then that was when I did turn up at that sparring day, then I get me tagged to the gym, and then that's when I start living in the gym, and then that's when I start like...
So was that what happened? You got your tag to the gym?
Got tagged to the gym, mate, started taking fights in Fusion, like obviously exhibition fights.
So were you actually living in Aspire?
Lived in Aspire for 7 months, doing just upstairs in the dorm. It's not even a dorm, mate, I was on a mattress on the floor.
He was a scouser for that as well, Dean, weren't he, lad?
Massively. There was other kids, exactly, mate, love him to bits for it, lad, because it gave me like I had nowhere... So when I come out of jail, I almost went back to jail like within that little period of being out in the first month, just for driving. When I drove my car, and I basically forgot to send away my license. So when I got stopped, the body almost sent me back there because I had no driver's license. So just a little thing, and I was like, shit, man. I was like, I actually have to focus on this now, man, because like, if I don't, man, I'm just gonna get.
Gonna end up fucking in.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's gonna one thing turn to another, lad, and it's that slippery road. It's hard to get out of.
Well, that was it, mate. They say like once you're in, man, it's like the littlest thing will just send you back, mate. Do you know what I mean? So like, you see why these people are just in and out, in and out, in and out.
Do you know when you were actually living in Aspire and you came out of Walton, and obviously you've went from there to there, and now you're in the gym. You'd be rolling with the lads, I'd imagine, and training of a day and stuff like that, and you know, maybe working in the gym and stuff. Was it like, what, I've actually got an opportunity here or a chance to do something? Did you feel that? Really feel that in your bones?
Yeah and no at the same time, because when I was in the gym, I was still getting my arse kicked every single day. So like I couldn't really see any progression. It's only when as time goes past, you start doing better with the guys. Do you mean? And then that's like, okay, and then you can fight as much as you want in the gym or be as good as you want in the gym. Actually showing up on the night is well different.
Yeah, can you do it under the lights?
100%. Well, I know I can. That's what I'm saying. So no matter what, how I'm feeling or whatever, I know when I get in that cage, wherever it's going, I'll go into a different place and I'll be in there till I get the win on it. So that's just the truth, mate. Everyone says it. Liam's watching Liam speak about me now to other people compared to like how I know that they would have spoke about me back in the day is well different. Like, do you mean I've got Liam's full backing with this now, and that to me is massive because he's the person I used to look up to. Now he's like knows that I'm setting
Liam's
a good
a legend,
example.
lad.
Boss,
Liam,
innit? Like,
and a great fighter also as well, and he's got a story to tell as well, hasn't he? But yeah, when we're having the likes of Dean, Marlon, Liam, fighters of that ilk around you, does that give you reassurance that 100% you're on the right road and you're in the right place?
Massively, because these are the people like they don't they're with me fully now in the fighting. Do you mean like they're in my corner? They're knowing that I'm setting examples for the gym now. Do you mean?
They're not fucking about either, are they, George? You know what I mean? They're not the types to blow smoke up your ass if you're messing around or you're fucking about or you're not up to much. They'd be straight with you and tell you, like, listen, this isn't happening.
This is what I like about Dean, man. Dean keeps me in check. So, like, no matter how much, like, even after that fight, like, he still had stuff to say to me. Do you mean? Which is like, I needed it. Because I knew right away, I was like, I didn't feel like I had a good performance on my pro debut, but everyone says I did. And it looks like I did. But to me personally, I'm like, I did not.
You never got a chance to get going. That leg kick took you down. You took him with you. It thought nice. But I wanted to see you on your feet a little bit more and get to your striking and stuff. I was excited to see.
But again,
I thought he's gonna fucking blow him away here, and I seen that kick, and I was like, it went to the floor. But you handled it well, lad, because the pressure was on. And
I'm glad I went through a little bit of adversity in my first fight. You know,
yeah,
so I needed that. I needed that to just say like, what doesn't matter where it went. I ended up on top.
But that's fighting for you as well, innit, Jordan? It never ever. You can sit there and you could fucking write a book on it. What you're gonna do, how you think you're gonna do, how prepared you can be. But as you said, when it comes down to it, you can't plan for it, lad, can you? You don't know what's gonna happen.
The law of attraction thing back to it as well. Where like I was thinking about because I had a calf problem that camp. Where like a calf, so I was thinking about a calf kick constantly, and that's what fucking came. And I was like,
came early on.
Everything I do in life, though, I swear to God, revolves around the law of attraction. So no matter what I do in life, I feel like I'm a massive believer on all that. Anyway, I just feel like up there is just like
someone's watching.
Someone's to do with that, you know, because everything I do. Way hard, like, with that tiny mindset comes out to be true, or whatever I think about comes to be thinking. I'm like, I might be like one of these people that's just like. I'm meant to be doing all this like that. Do you mean like?
I'm a believer, and we are where we're meant to be. And sometimes, if like everything seems a lot of ag, and it's stressful, and it's like you're fucking running uphill all the time. You've got to reassess and say, am I meant to be doing this, or am I just like sort of swimming against the tide all the time? Where if it's flowing for you, and everything doesn't flow all the time. I'm not saying like if it's not going rosy, don't do it. But I'm saying you get a feeling, something tells you I'm meant for this. I'm on the right path here.
Even in regards to like back when I was being up to no good and that, like I was good at that kind of stuff. Do you mean? But there'd always be something like always came with a lot of stress, or it was always going to end up in one place. You know, just that kind of thing. But now because I'm doing stuff so legitly and so on the right path with something, all the good things that were like. I'm good at this now. Do you mean it's like it's all
coming to fruition now?
Everything's just coming in my way now because I'm actually doing like something that's legit and something that's good and something that's good. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
it feels good because
all the benefits of it now.
When that calf kick did come in and you felt it, you grabbed hold of him and you took him to the floor straight away. You took him with you because you went and he come with you. When that happened in your mind, Jordan, at that moment, was that a bit like I've seen this moment in your head?
Not at all. I was just, in that moment. I was as soon as I hit the deck, I was thinking. So like, right to what I was saying, and all the mist, all that. I was like, as soon as I hit the deck, I went, "Do not rush, because if I rush, I've got 5 minutes now. It's not amateur anymore. I've actually got time to work." So I was on the ground, and then you could see him. He had like a big juice head like that. They've got a lot of strength, but for a minute. Do you know what I mean? So like, as soon as he got me down, I couldn't actually move. And he was using all his strength, and then I was like, because I was thinking too much about it, right, just chill. I let him get into the mount, and then I was like, oh right, I was like, shit, he's in mount. I was actually talking to myself. I went, shit, he's in mount. I was actually saying, I went, shit, I'm going to fucking, is this what it's going to feel like to be elbowed fuck off? That's what I'm saying to myself. I was like, oh shit, and then got to I was like, oh shit, here it comes. I was like, fuck. That's what I was saying to myself. So I was talking to myself, but like, in a way, like having a laugh at myself as well, because I was going, shit, here it comes. I'm going to get elbowed fuck out of here. And I couldn't escape the way I normally escape, because I was like, if I put both my hands there, and he just lands a big elbow, I could get cut, and it's totally different. So I was like, just chill. And then as soon as he got a bit higher up, I was like, well, this sweep I've done a million times before in the gym, doing, and I was just kind of played in my favour. Then when I got on top of him, I was just like settle in, because he's still using a lot of energy here.
Yeah, letting him use his energy against himself.
One of the biggest things we've done in that camp was just like keeping your head above theirs, and like, because obviously when you've got your hips back and then putting your head into someone's chest, they actually can't sit up. So every time he's trying to sit up, and I'm like, I could hear like my forehead and his neck, I could hear like going, just popping.
Yeah.
So I just could hear loads of bone. I don't know what was popping like, but it sounded like bone. But just popping, you know what I mean? Because I was sending his head that far back, and I was like, as you go back, you start, like, do you know what I mean? Trying to speak.
Yeah, you're putting pressure on it.
Putting pressure on it. So he actually couldn't sit up. So he's wasting more energy thinking, and then I was just like.
If you can relax, that's
well, that was
more than half the problem, isn't it?
As soon as I was in his guard, I was like, right, I was relaxed. The second I flipped him, I was like, right, I wish I'd felt like this at the start, but because of the pressure I put on myself, which I won't do ever again, because I've got through that first fight now. I don't have pressure now. Do you mean now I can just fight? Just like now it's like I put too much pressure on myself because I felt like I had to have a good performance. When really it didn't really matter.
No.
Do you mean? But that's why I put pressure on myself.
We do that to ourselves, and I think it's mastering being calm in them situations is difficult as well, because it's abnormal to be calm in that much pressure, and you will even like people who say, you know, I didn't feel no pressure with the liars. We all feel pressure, and if everyone's there and everyone's behind you, the bigger it is, the more that comes with it.
I need pressure, because now I feel like pressure makes diamonds, and like not everyone gets to like perform under pressure. You know, like, not everyone does get to perform. So like I felt like that good. That's why like I had my post-fight interview, I was swearing so much, because I was just that buzzing. I was just like, because that to me was like, I made a massive career choice at fucking 29 to change, to go after something that was just like seems so far beyond, like, to get to
reality. Yeah, if you're 29 and you've had a white collar fight and you're saying, listen, I want to be a pro MMA fighter,
and make it, it's crazy. So now ultra white collar, like I'm like I should be the poster boy, because obviously the whole goal of that is, so they come in and they done a big interview on me. They come in the gym like about a month ago, and they did, because like, who better to use when you start with these white collars to like someone who's actually went on to be the first person in the world to win 5 belts and like be number 1 in the UK and go pro. It's like,
did you feel like you were giving something back when you were in that interview and you were talking to them?
But I'm not. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't care like about this if it doesn't go anywhere. If I get to actually inspire a few people to chase the same shit at a younger age, then the amount of people I had message me after my fight, even though it was like a little post-fight interview, where I was like, look, just you versus you, but I was that emotional, I got it wrong. You know, I wanted to say it more. But the amount of people that messaged me going, listen lad, I'm getting in the gym on Monday, like, you've actually just, if you can do it at 29.
If you could say it calmly, Jordan, what would you say?
Just like, look, it's you versus you in this world. Do you mean like this little shitty world? It's just, take no corners. Do you mean take no shots? I've just messed it up again, lad.
It's gone no.
So it's you versus you in this shitty little world, whether it's painting or fighting. Do you mean painting pictures, fighting, selling cars? Do it the hard way. You want to take no corners, no shortcuts. Do you know what I mean? The only way you're going to do it is generally getting in there and giving it 100%. Do you mean that's the only way to do anything in life? But mate, all walks of life is the same. Do you mean if you're going to do something, don't get off that mat early. Don't finish. Stay. Do the extra sessions. It's all the shit that people don't see, and that's the stuff that will get you these places. Do you mean that extra work that you put in?
The Power of One More. That's a very good book. You know, if you've ever read The Power of One More.
I've ordered like something like 6 books literally today.
Yeah.
So there's loads of them.
Jamie Ray put me on this book called The Power of One More, and it's a fucking sick book, lad. If you've never had a chance to read it or you've never listened to it, The Power of One More is a serious book, and that's what he's saying. It's like that one more mile, that one more round, that one more rep, because that one more can take you to another place. And when times are tough, it's just getting that one more in. You know what I mean?
Massively.
It makes all the difference.
But you don't want to get caught up in like just thinking like, oh, I've just finished. But at the same time, it's just like when you've done enough, you'll feel it in your body. You've done enough. Do you mean,
100%.
It's not like you have to hit the bag for 7 hours. Like, no, you go in there and you give it an absolute bell to work out and you keep up, but that's what I'm saying, you keep up that consistency. Do you mean like you do that once, go do it again next week, same time? Do you mean like just keep it and it'll build a pattern in your brain?
Yeah, it's the little things as well, isn't it? Sometimes like people try and do like too much change at once. Oh, I'm gonna fucking do this and I'm gonna start running. It's like it'd be like something small, like start drinking more water and do that consistently for a bit. Then if it's a little run, just keep doing it and getting it in. Sometimes you can go fucking mad, can't you? It's about turning up and being the little wins. I
tell all these PTs like when I'm starting as well, like look, just get runs in. I don't like running. Like no one likes fucking running. Like no one does. Like somebody inspire me. I'll go on a 10k with a black wall in front of me.
Yeah.
I like fucking standing there, it drives me insane, but I know it's just like it's better like physical, mental stuff for me.
Do you know what, Jordan? Yeah, I'm a bit weird, but I don't mind a bit of road work. Like if I'm running on the road and I've got my headphones on and that, if I can get in the zone, lad, it can do me the world of good because I can get in my own fucking head. So like when not when I'm running, prior to it. So when I'm actually on the road, I can start like. I can unwind a little bit. It helps me, it gives me a bit of clarity in that. And after it, you feel great, don't you?
People don't realise that, like, in all this music and stuff as well, there's like harmonies in the music and like there's like frequencies inside music beats and stuff like that. They're, like actually, like, that's why there's genres. Do you mean like it takes you to like that Paolo Nutini song? My heart rate, like in that song, it's like there's something to do with the hertz in that song where like it actually makes your heart rate go down to something crazy. Do you mean? Not saying that was the reason why it went so well in my fight.
Yeah.
That last amateur fight. I'm just saying in general though, like the music makes you feel good. You know
it does, lad, 100%. Yeah, it can change states. It can help you change state if you're in a state of one mood, one feeling. If you feel fucking irate and fuming, if you get the tunes on when you're working out, it starts changing how you feel. Or you might just want to mellow and chill. It puts you in a certain state, and it can be hard to switch your state. Your mental state and and how you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Being in Liverpool now, have you settled? Are you used to it? Do you like being here?
I've been here like 10 years now, man. I love it here.
Can you pull the mic a little bit closer just so I can make sure I can get you in?
It's all good.
Yeah, it's well better.
Yeah, mate, I've been here like 10 years now, man. I love it here. Like, I'll never leave. Do you mean my gym's here? My family's here now. Not my family, my little girl. Do you mean everyone? So.
What are the most Scouse words you know, lad? What would you say?
I say lad all the time.
Yeah,
I say like all the time.
Like.
Just loads of little things like that.
Heavy.
Yeah, heavy. I've even got my bird saying heavy now, man. Like, I'm not even Scouse.
What are jock words, Jord, if you'd have to tell me something? I reckon brutal's one. Fucking brutal, man. It was fucking Baltic, man. It was brutal. Baltic, man. Fucking freezing.
Fucking freezing. You see, you probably know more than me. When I go, so I sound more Scottish when I'm on the phone to my ma. Or like the second I go back to Scotland, I'll start saying like I don't know, but I'll start saying I don't ken.
Yeah,
so just like little things.
My mum's mate was like Scottish, and she used to say like, "Do you want a ham piece?"
A ham piece.
Like, a sandwich, and lad, we'd be looking at each other as if to say, me and my sister, "What the fuck's you on?"
So
about?
I'll say a can of juice all the time, and I'll say everyone's up with
a can of juice, yeah.
A can of juice.
Yeah, I'll get a can of juice.
There's a Coke or a like, well, that's not. It's pop. Do you like?
Or you say how not instead of why not? How not?
So I'll say you come to mines. As well, you come to mines a little bit. We'll do mines. I'm like, we'll just mine. So little things that when I'm thinking about it, stuff like that, like I pull them all the time.
We're very similar though, Scousers and jocks, lad. They're fucking nuts.
I think Scousers, jocks, Geordies, and Irish. They're just they're all the same. Like four people who just get on like mad, don't they?
Who've been your biggest inspirations or mentors throughout your fighting career?
Definitely Dean Garnett.
Dean's a geezer,
100%. Dean Garnett, Phil Turner, Liam
McCracken.
Yeah, massively. Just there for people. Ed Blavelock, a person that is from Australia, America. He trains in the gym. You probably don't know him. He's just he's an older fella. He's just coming back next week. He's been away for like the past couple of months. Joe Tonks. These are all people. Joe
Tonks is very good on the pads, isn't he?
He's a mate, just a brilliant coach.
His dad's been around it forever as well,
Dave's boss. Just people like that. People that generally I've had the same team, but the same thing. Like at the start, I was winning most of these fights from just heart because there was no talent there. You know, it was more just like turning up every day and putting in the hard work, and then that was what was getting me fights. Now the talent's starting to show because I've got skills now. Do you mean? So even to them, this is why they're saying like, lad, you're doing all this.
It's exciting because not many people can do it without skill set. A lot of people need a skill set to do it.
And I'm not saying I'm not good now. Now I back myself. Now I know I'm good enough to do it. But I'm saying in general, they know that like I'm winning these fights at like 10% of what I could be doing. So
MMA is the closest thing in combat sports to like fighting in its purest form, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's so vast and there's so many disciplines and anything goes. with there being so many aspects to the combat sport you've chosen, Jordan, there's like striking, grappling, BJJ, strength and conditioning, fitness. Do you train in other gyms with other coaches apart from Aspire, or do you have different coaches for different things?
So I go to Aspire for all my MMA and my like kickboxing and stuff, but then I'll go to Tonks's gym, do all my boxing there, and I'll sometimes train with Anthony Deary for the Key at Muay Thai, train with Anthony. I'll do all my strength and conditioning at Phoenix Fitness, just down the road
there, yeah.
Marlon's uncle Charles, that's another person that's a massive influence in my life, mate. He's got me pretty much, my fitness is because of Charles, as well as obviously turning up and training on the mat. But Charles, is obviously Jones, is a massive influence in my life as well. I never mentioned him before, but he is, because he basically gets me in fight shape. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got me with a strength where I am today, and he's a geezer. Do you mean, like, he's also on a level, lad. He's
one of the lads.
He's one of the lads. Do you mean? So it's like,
I think you need that as well.
He'd be real with me. He's real as fuck with me.
Like, you need to have that like thing. There's got to be a level of respect there, but there's got to be a level of relation there where you can get on with someone. You know what I mean? if that isn't there,
well, he doesn't have everyone in there. So he'll say to me, like, if I'm not in, he's like, where the fuck are... He's been real, he's like, where the fuck are you, little muppet? Do you mean, like...
Yeah,
he's like,
get on,
where was me 100 word text saying he wasn't coming in? Just like, he knows he gets me, do you mean? He's always doing ADHD.
And he's heard all of the fucking...
Exactly.
The messages, lad.
As I'm saying, so he's just...
my nan got run over, I'm sorry, I can't come, brother, I'll definitely be there next week.
Mine isn't real. Sometimes I've got a busy life, I've got a little girl and all that, so he understands, but it's just more like... We're quite the same person, and I think he likes that. Do you mean, like, the fact that we can be a bit like the same? So it's good.
You've got stuff in common.
Loads of stuff in common, lad. Loads.
What discipline do you enjoy the most?
I'd probably say the wrestling side of it, just because it's grafty. Do you mean, it's like you can't cheat the grind on that kind of thing. Do you mean, like, if you are defending, you're getting taken down constantly. So it's like a battle. You don't want to get taken down in wrestling. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a constant battle. Do you mean?
It's a very technical sport. Like, just watching you training, like, just the kids. I'm watching some of the stuff that you're doing, and there's like so many like small maneuvers to just one fucking move, lad. To just get one move off, and I'm just looking, going, wow, this is a crazy technical sport. Like, and it's interesting, and that's why I think it is a sport for the ages, because, you know, from the ages of 3 and 4, what you have them in there to like old men, people are still, around that sport, and I'm watching kids, and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, these are technical dudes.
See, all these kids like Regan and Shay, obviously back in the day, like, there was no... MMA's only become massive over the past, like 5 years.
Yeah, it's become really big.
So before that, they were like dead young doing it when it wasn't even massive. So all these kids now that you're little kid at, they're all going to be like the next generation, if that makes sense, if they keep at it. Because 15 years from now, the levels change that much where, like, you could become good in a couple of years. Do you mean because of it's not the old way fighting?
I feel like as well, years ago, Jordan, like, you didn't need to be as well rounded if you were in MMA. So
you just had to have a fight.
Or there'd be someone who's like, he's shit out at striking. Maybe someone who's really good at BJJ. Maybe someone who, you know, who's grappling fitness is good. But now, if you want to be good, you've got to have it all, because there's that many kids who are at it, and it's become that much evolved. One discipline won't fucking carry you.
You've got kids now, training 3-4 times a day at 9 years old. Stuff like that now. So how, in a way, it's definitely over fucking training at that age. But I'm just saying in general, the Maz and Daz now see like their kid being like, well, he can be the next superstar.
Yeah.
Okay, you push them that much, you're going to mess it up for yourself. Do you mean, because they'll end up overtraining and not want to do it.
Yeah, kids will start resenting it. As they get bigger, they go, fuck that, I've done it for so long.
But it's just the same as, like, if they're doing MMA now, like, when I was younger, everyone was just doing footy 7 times a week. So it's just like, now they're just doing MMA instead. So it's, maybe they won't, but obviously the way the mums and dads now, everyone will see their kid as like the next superstar, if that makes sense to me, because they're starting it so young.
There's a lot of kids in the gym as well. For me, when I take my kids, it's for fun, and I just see them as like, these are just going to take part, they're going to socialise, get them off the computer, and they enjoy it, and it's helping them athletically.
Because when they're older, so you like
if they develop and they go, Dad, I really like this, and I really want to do it, then I'll be there for them, and I'm 100% with it. But I just want them to develop and find themselves.
At least when they do find it, though, at least you'll be able to know by the time they are, say, 10, 12, stuff like that, they would have had a wrestling background a little bit, where, like, people in their schools and all that will know that they've done MMA.
Well, our Jared, who I bring, he's the eldest lad who have got Marlon saying to him, because the other two are in your class. Jared's like, he's 11 now, and he's never done combat sports and that. So, like, he's getting twisted up in there because the other kids, they're better because they've been doing it from a younger age. But I'm like, you just learn quicker, lad, because you'll have to. You've got no choice, do you know what I mean? Where the likes of Ruben and Ivan, if they were to stick it, by the time they get to his age, they'll be decent at it.
You know the thing is, the best way to do it is go with all the chuck yourself in at the deep end, though.
Go with the more experienced kids.
Because you're obviously going to get better. Like one month in Aspire is like 6 months in another gym.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So like that's just because of the level of coaching, and I'm not saying it's because we're the coaches. I'm just saying in general the way that they've got
the setup,
the setups, the kids that come in, they're all like the best. If you look at every kid in that gym, from like Marlon's class, all the juniors, they're winning comps every weekend. They're winning the belts every weekend. They're bloody. Then you look at the amateurs, Tom Harvey, everyone like that, Tyler Derbyshire. Everyone's got belts, had belts, wants belts. Then you look at the pros, all champions, #1 in the UK. Is like everyone is like
it's a proper fighting gym.
It's proper fighting gym, mate. Like if you go in there, mate, you're guaranteed to get in a high level of coaching.
100%. No matter where you're turning in the gym.
Fine. And look at Dean. Dean, like absolute veteran in the game.
He's a whale of knowledge, Dean. Do you know what I mean?
Massively.
He's forgot more than some people know.
Listen, I wouldn't like to get into a little argument with Dean about something because he's done his research and stuff. Do you mean? It's the truth, mate. He won't have an argument with me until he's back. If you can't back up what you're saying, Dean will call you on it.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah,
mate, people would ignore that, mate. But yes, he's a smart guy, mate. And I'll never question what he says because most of the shit he says turns out to be true. Without failing, it is everything he says turns out to be true, lads. But just even on that, but just mean like. His knowledge of coaching, he's been around the world, he's trained UFC fighters, he works with like all the everything, mate. He's good at what he does. I mean, that's why Aspire is the way it is because of that. So.
Yeah, you can see it trickles down right the way through. With your current resume, out of you've had 12 now, you've had 9 wins, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 2 decisions. As an amateur, and then now obviously the one was the pro. Out of all of them, which moments stand out to you? If you had to pick a certain moment, Jordan, if I said to you, you've got to pick a moment, lad, what would it be?
When I November on my fight in FCC, I definitely say my pro debut was one, but I felt like the fight, like I felt the best and just the most comfortable in. That was when I was like the Graziano Jones one, just because he was a game fighter coming fairly, and it was for a 5th belt, and I was going to make history.
Had you already made the decision with your team? It was November the 30th, 2024. Had you made the decision with the team that, listen, if we beat Graziano, I'm going pro?
No, Dean literally said to me before that fight, listen, 2 more. And I was like, nah, I'm going to fucking show you I don't need 2 more.
Did you say anything to him, or did you go, yeah, okay,
get out there. Just have to say yes, because no matter if you argue, he's like, well, nah, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's not happening. So, you know, when you took the gloves off in the cage?
Well, that was, so I literally, you don't see it, but, so before that fight, I was like, I knew that if I don't have a belter performance, I am having another one. So, like, my whole camp was just about being calm, having fun, and putting 0 pressure on myself. I was like, I don't care. If I go out there and just have fun, then I'm not putting all this pressure on myself. Then I won't have a bad performance. And I did, mate. I come out and I probably looked the best I looked, and I finished him like ASAP, do you mean? And it was because he'd not been finished in years. It was just made me feel better. And I won that 5th belt, and it was like I was the first person to do it in the world. Do you mean? So like that to me was just like shit. How far I've come. Like I only started this a couple of years ago. Now I'm doing stuff that's like.
Come from a white collar fight in 2 years, 3 years.
So now people are looking at me going like, shit, man. Like that's what I'm saying to other people. It should be inspiring because like if I can do it, fucking someone else can. Like, hard work, you know. Like it's not just that you can just pick up the fucking gloves and I got so many kick the shit out of every day to get that done. But I knew where I was going, and like when I finally done it, I was kind of like a sense of like relief. I was like, right now my name's in like a history book of MMA.
It is. That's it. It's etched forever. That's it.
And it's hard to do because getting 5 fights in 1 year is hard enough. Never mind getting 5 title fights on different shows back to back.
Mate, when I was reading your resume, I was scratching my head at first going, am I fucking reading this right? Because I try and do my own work before I get someone on, because obviously you've got to know a bit of the background. And the last thing you want to do is come on, sit down and go, and you're saying stuff that's come from, you know, incorrect sources. So I had to check it a few times, and I was like, and it's a massive accomplishment, mate. So you should be massively proud of yourself.
But that one was definitely the one that I felt.
So at the end of that fight with Graziano, when you took the gloves off, had you made this decision?
So, no, I went up to Dean. And he went. First thing he said to me, it was just because for me, it was like the best night as well because I'd won the fight. I was that buzzing, and I just looked at Dean's face, and Dean was just like looking at me, just going like that, looking up at me, and I was like, right, he's buzzing. Because normally he's always got something to say on it. Not in a bad way.
But it'd be constructive criticism.
He keeps me in check. You know what I mean? He's just like, look, you did that, but you did that wrong. Like, okay.
Yeah, that was very good, but you should have done this.
Yeah, exactly. But in a nice way. He's not that, mate. I don't take it as criticism.
Dean's fight on PFL was fucking heavy, wasn't it? Crazy fight. Go on. Go on.
And he goes, and he says, and the first thing he just come up to me and just goes, now that was a professional performance. And I just went, so is this it then? He just went, that's it. And I just went, right, so just like, I take these gloves off in the cage, and he just went, yep, 100%. And I just went, I was like, and that was the moment. That was the moment when I was like, oh my god, I'm professional now. I was like, the one thing I said to myself, because I said I wrote in my fucking phone, this is I haven't done it with anyone. I'll do it. I'll send you it, and you can post it there. I wrote in my phone when I quit my job in November the year before, and I fucking forgot to do this, man. I've just thought about it now.
Go on.
In my phone. In November 2023, when I quit my job in December, on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, I wrote a list on my phone, and it said, like, I will finish Roman David, because I was fighting a kid called Roman David. He was a heavy fighter from Ireland. Like, it was like, I wasn't meant to win that fight, on it. Like, if anything, it was meant to be a breeze for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, man, like, now, but I was like, well, I can't beat him. But I was like, fuck, I've got to beat him. Like, shit, he's dead good. Like, so if I can't beat him, like, probably no point in doing this. So I wrote on my phone saying, I will finish Graziano, I will finish Roman David within the 5 rounds, finished him in the lost the first 2 rounds of that fight, come back and won the last 3, finished him in the 5th. I was like buzzing. Then I said, I will go on to win the UKFs because I was defending my Kingdom belt, but I didn't feel like I'd had a belt because I'd just lost my fight before that. But I'd won my fight before that with the belt, but then I fought in a different show, and I lost, and then so I didn't feel like I had a belt. So I basically got my belt back when I beat Roman. Then I said, I was going to finish Roman David, defend my belt. And then I said I was going to go on to win the UKFC belt or the Almighty belt. But I'll have all 3. Literally said that I will have all 3 by the summer. And I did, mate. I had all 3 by May. But then I said I will be number 1 in the UK by the end of the year, and I will turn pro before I'm 30. Before I'm 31, you know it? I will turn pro when I'm 30. That's what I said. So I turned pro 2 days before my birthday on the 5th. So little things that when after it, because I thought about that in the cage when Dean said it, that
weren't really meant to happen there and then that night.
Yeah, that night. No, so I was like, shit, man, I've
achieved it.
To win more belts. I've turned out to be number 1. I know the 1st of December is when it come up on the fucking topology saying number 1 in the UK. So I've done that, number 1 in the UK, got all the belts I said I was going to get, got all the shows I said I was going to get, and then obviously I turned pro before I was 30. Well, when I was 30.
It's crazy what you've done,
I fought on the 30th of November. I turned 31 on the 2nd of December. So, like, when he went professional, it clicked. I was like, oh my God, I've done my list. I was like, I've actually done my list. That's what I was saying. I've actually done what I said. But without even realising, I lost that fucking phone. I've got the screen fixed now, like, so I could go back on there and get it, you know. But I went back on it, I was like, oh my God, I actually done that without even looking at it. But I wrote it down, you know, so it's crazy what you can do with a pen to paper, you know, and it is, mate, I swear to God. So when I look back, I'm like, shit, I actually wrote that down and it actually all come to fruition.
It materialised.
So, like, stuff like that, mate, I think it's crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, no matter what I do now, it's like, shit, if I put in the work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got to work for it. You can't just write it down, you've got to work for it, and you have. 100%. Challenges and growth. What have been some of the biggest challenges you've faced in your MMA career, and how have you overcome them? I know in your second fight, you lost. Can you remember how it felt immediately after that fight?
Yeah, because I lost my first amateur one. I just got kneed in the sternum and I just couldn't carry on. It was just when I was winning the fight and I just got kneed and my win just went. Second one I took a fight again. So I was 3-0. I was 4-1, and then I fought someone who was, I think he was like 13 and something. So he was just like 18 fights more than me. You know it? And so then Dean was like, you shouldn't be taking this. And I was just like, nah, give me that chance to show like I can fight against someone.
Yeah, it was worlds away from where you were.
But I think then I'll see where I stand. Do you mean? But everything went wrong that day, like weight, food, everything. So I'm not saying it was because of that. I feel like it's just like I would never do that day again like that. So it's kind of like
all these things are massive learning curves as well. It's all for
so I didn't let
experience.
that get to me because I was like, well, one, I fought someone who was 20 times more experienced than me. So experience won on that fight, you know. Could have got subbed in the second. But that was a challenge coming back from that. But really just like putting all my focus on the fight, and then I was like, right, take it seriously. Now that's when I was like, take it seriously. But if you see there on my leg, I got staph on my Christian Soda fight 4 weeks out from my fight, and I almost got sepsis, and the trauma doctor told me that I'd actually probably lose my leg. Like I had a hole in my leg, like to the point where I was like, you could see me, you could see me bone and everything. That was I got that 18 days out from my fight is when the infection started. I still had the hole in my leg to the point where like that was my biggest challenge because Dean and all them said like we're pulling you, and I was like no, please don't, because I was on for 4 belts. And I was
How did that happen, Dean? What I mean,
just got a staph infection. Let it get dead bad. Mate, honestly, there was that was my biggest challenge because I couldn't train for 3 weeks leading up to that fight, and just like still saying to myself every day, like just getting in there and just be like, don't worry, man, you'll be sound. Just get in there and fight. Every day, mate. Honestly, everyone said to me like the fact that you fought with that is like you should be able to get through anything in life now, Jim.
Yeah, that's and they're the ones that you can dig in when you know when times are tough in the future. They're the things that are in the bank in your mind where you go, remember I got through this,
I did like, and remember the doctor when I went to see him, he was like, when's he fighting? And he was like, I was like, 10 days, and he said, you're not fighting in 10 days, lad. And I was just like, I fucking am. So he was like, don't trust me, I'm being deadly serious. You physically can't fight with that. He's like, you've got to be on so many. I think I had something like 2 courses of fluxacillin. I'd done something like 9 oxygen chambers. I had 2 courses of B12. I had like I'd done like something like 10 IV drips. Just trying to feel better, mate. Fucking and just the whole of my leg fight day. That's why I wore a knee pad on the fight. And I remember all the way flapping it right up until I got to the cage. If he pulled, because they won't let me. They wouldn't. If they seen it, they would not let me.
Yeah,
fight.
Wouldn't let you get in there.
They wouldn't let you get in there because they just see it as well. If it expands when you're in there, because you're getting wrestled everywhere. It went 5 rounds, so managing to do that 5-round fight and still get the win at the end of it was like, oh, I can do anything now, you know.
Yeah, you'd have to dig deep. That was the moment.
That was it. So that was probably the most challenging moment where like suffering something like that, almost losing like my leg.
What interests me, and for this next question, is seeing what you've achieved in such a short space of time, and all the aspirations you've had, and they've all came into fruition. What are your future aspirations for the sport?
Right now, I've just written like a kind of new list. I have mate, because I I'd like to. The money side, I'm not really too fussed about. I swear to God, but I'd love to, like, because I'm coaching kids and all that kind of stuff now. I'd love I'm massive on like my tips and stuff. Do you know, just like I'd love to like get like my moves to be getting taught in gyms, or do you know, it's like a seminar, like me to go touch a seminar, just like little things. Like as time goes, the more better I get, because I don't watch all my fights. You actually just see it go like that and that and that. It's hard because it's hard to get better in a short space of time. It's more just about being fit for some people, staying fit and getting fitter.
It is, yeah.
For me, I get better in these 3 months. Do you mean like my fitness is always there anyway, because I turn up to every session and I make sure that I'm always at Charles on the Sundays. We call them Hell Sundays. It's just like it's literally David Goggin workouts. Do you mean that's what it is? So there's no rest, if that makes sense. There is, because I'll get rest. If I need a rest, I'll take a rest. You know it. But just I'd like to make it to the UFC. I genuinely would. I'd love to make it to the UFC. Like, I'm not really focusing on anything else now.
Let's say it again. Let's say you say, I'm going to the UFC.
I'm going to go to the UFC.
Are you going to the UFC, Jordan?
That's where I want to go. Like, that's where I don't think about nothing else. Like all these other promotions, and there's nothing against them. I'm just saying, like,
regardless of what you achieved in the UFC, yeah, like, for you to just get there, Jordan, would that be it for you?
Mate, this is it. Just get in there. Let me fight with the best. You mean right now, mate? People you never used to think I could do it. Now there's got people saying
you're massive for the weight, brother. When I seen 75 kilos, I was looking at you. I was thinking to myself, fuck.
77.
Yeah,
still the same.
77.5 or whatever it was. I was looking at you when I was in the gym last time, thinking, jeez, my man's big for the weight. You're tall, lad, aren't you?
That's it. But this is what I think I can get there, being authentic. Like, I don't have to change as a person to get there, lad. Like, I feel like the way I'm going and the way, like, if I keep winning, keep finishing, like,
yeah, just keep being you, keep doing you.
That's it, mate. But like I said, if I don't, then it's cool. Do you mean like I've made a career out of this stuff anyway? So it's,
you have 100%.
But I wouldn't really. I don't think I want to go anywhere else now. I feel like I'll set on that. If it doesn't go that way, that doesn't go that way. You know?
How do you balance training with your fighting schedule and your personal commitments outside of MMA? What activities and hobbies do you enjoy?
Um,
Or don't you?
yeah,
You don't do
nah,
that.
I don't, lad. Do you know what's mad? Outside of this, like, I've just got a nice little bird and all that now, and she's good stuff, man. So like, it's just, mate, I'm just more trying to like make time, more socialising, really, mate. I'm like seeing my little girl as much as I can, and just like I'm big on like. I like nature, if that makes sense, lad. Do you know it? So like, I'm always
Going for a walk.
yeah, oh, just stuff like that, lad. Just little quick, little like stuff that just it matters. You know it?
Yeah.
It's just I don't really
Time
know,
to be present and switch off.
I don't know nothing else outside of fighting now. That makes sense. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fighting's your life.
Fighting, literally, it's just like I said. I've said on our went away before. It's like it's a scary thing that because you don't actually like you don't realise like how small this shit gets when you start taking it serious on it because you actually are.
Yeah, because it consumes you a lot. You know, you literally like eat, live, breathe, sleep it because, you know, you've got to watch what you're eating, you know, who you're surrounded with. And because you put that much commitment into it, it becomes beyond choice. It's like you're just living it. It's just the fucking life, innit?
That's it. Literally, that's it. That is actually all I do now is like, no matter what I'm doing, it's got some day fighting in it. Do you mean?
What did it feel like to walk out for the first time as a professional fighter? Was that a key moment? Was that the moment in another sense?
Do you know what that it was? It was more just the fact that everyone knew who I was this time. You know, like now, like people. So this was a moment for me actually that I've never ever spoke to this family before in my life. Never ever. They come from a part in Scotland just to watch me fight, but they've never messaged me. They've never thinking. They just knew that I was fighter and they were like, we're going to go watch him. So they bought a hotel. And mate, it doesn't matter. It was just mate. There probably was other people there as well. I'm just saying that this guy made a point of finding me and he was with his son. He was like, listen, we've actually come from like Dumfries just to watch you. Like, we've been following your amateur career a little bit. My son's into the fighting and he says, oh, he loves the jock. And they booked the hotel to come. That was like my first thing. Like, shit, I've actually got like a bit of a fan. Do you mean like, I never knew I had that. You know it? So like that, it's after the fight that I had. No, it was before the fight. They come up to me and he was just like, oh, can I get a picture? I was like, where are you from? And that, oh, we're from Dumfries, Scotland. I was like, who is here to see? He's like, we've come to see you. And I was like, what? And he was just like, yeah, my son loves you, the fighting and that. He's got a mate at a higher level and he says like, you were fighting this weekend and he said, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, so we booked a hotel and that to come watch you. I was like, mate, I've never ever like spoke to these in my life. Do you mean? But for me, it was weird because like shit, there is actually people out there who are probably watching me. I don't even have a clue.
Yeah,
now.
you've got
It's fans now. You know what I mean? So that to me was like, oh shit, this is like. That made me feel dead good, like proper, like shit, man. I've actually got like people watching.
Yeah, me. Kids who were following you and
then,
stuff
like
that.
Little things like Dan Hardy followed me and like Showtime Pet followed me. Just little things like that, like.
Yeah, but they're big things.
They're
big, to you, they're massive things.
To me, like Dan, just little things like
Dan
that.
Hardy, lad,
I'm just saying they were like, I never knew that these people were watching. Do you mean
but
like
they are. You'd be surprised who's watching.
That's what I'm saying.
And now, the more and more, as you keep climbing this ladder, you're going to be getting more and more exposure, and more people are talking about it. You know what I mean?
That's
as you said, it was a heavily anticipated debut. You stepping into that, you know, cage, and for you, it's even more special as well because the story prior to it, like, you know, 2 years before you're sitting in Walton, and then you know you're making a professional debut with 5 belts, amateur belts, and coming off the back of winning fighter of the year and stuff like that. It's what dreams are made of. And as you said, when you were saying, like, you know, these were the things you're writing down, yeah, people would laugh at it, and probably rightfully so, lad, because it's not stuff that happens every day, is it? You know. I
mean, that's what I'm saying, mate. It doesn't, but again, mate, it generally is down to like you putting that.
Everyone could look up to you though, in that sense. You know, all of us can, because at the end of the day, you know, if we set our minds to something and we truly believe we can get it, we can, and it's how you apply yourself.
Yeah, I swear, I fully agree with that.
Weight cutting, because you're so big.
I don't struggle with it.
Don't you?
Nah, not one bit, man. People get jealous at me because
Are you that type of kid? You can eat what you want and it just falls off you.
I'm eating Sam's like fight week. Do you mean? I'm just saying that, like, I'm very blessed, but that's
Megan, lad, loves Sam's. You know, Sam knows Megan. Hello, Mrs. Megan. When she
hey, boss, but like I said, that's not really a takeaway, is it? I'm just saying in general though. No, but I've got a very good metabolism, so like, but don't get me wrong, like if my weight's high, like I'll just stop eating chocolate, or like I'll stop drinking fizzy drinks, or I'll just
no, because some people struggle with it, and with you because you've got a tall frame, you know. But I didn't know. I had a bit of a feeling you might be all right with it.
Mate, honestly,
there's some people who are just like that, aren't they?
I keep my fight weight for 84, 85, so I could make weight next week if I needed to.
Yeah.
And I don't go really fluctuate higher. Probably right now is the highest I am just because I've had a
What do you reckon you are now, Jordan?
87 kg or something.
Say for you, when you, do you know what's crazy as well? Like MMA fighters, they seem to have a bigger, the way you said, like, you know, keep it around like 80, 84, 85. Like, well, you've got to make 77. So you've got to lose like 7 kilo, which is about a stone. Like in boxing, that's a lot of weight to lose. MMA fighters seem to lose a lot more weight, and they seem to be bigger at the weight as well.
I don't know how it works, but I've always just, since my first amateur fights, I've done like 12 or 13 weight cuts now. But I've obviously done it with, Dean told me from the first days that, listen, just this is what you do, this is what you do. So I'll have like, on the Monday, I'll have 8 litres of water, 2 chicken omelettes. Tuesday, 8 litres of water, 2 chicken omelettes. Wednesday, 6 litres of water, 2 chicken omelettes. And then Thursday, by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll have 2 litres of water and 1 chicken omelette. So from 12 o'clock all the way through till I step on these scales, not one drink of water, not one bit of food. But then I've got to get in the sauna the next day as well.
From 12 on the Thursday, is that?
So it's like a full 23 hours really without nothing. But you've got to get in the sauna when I wake up on the
Are
Friday
you pissing like fuck for that 23 hours?
Nah, but before that I am. So like for that 23 hours, mate, there's nothing to piss. You've got fucking nothing in you.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you mean, but you'll piss loads on the Monday, loads on the Tuesday, loads on the Wednesday. The Thursday, you'll squeeze out a couple of pisses doing this.
Yeah.
But I'm used to it now. Like I don't, because I done that was 6 in a year basically. You know, from like February to February.
After you've weighed in, Joe, do you feel good when you've refueled, or doesn't it make that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's drinks that you get. They've got all the creatines, all the electrolytes, all the
it's about replenishing, right, innit? Because if you just put water back in you, you're just pissing it straight back out again. So it's not holding on to nothing.
There's two drinks. Like one's like a 2 litre bottle, one's like a litre bottle. One's like a litre bottle, sorry, one's like a 500ml bottle. You drink the litre one for like, it's got like so many carbs, so many electrolytes. So God knows what's in them, but it just brings all the vitamins you need back in. So you'll sip that for 45 minutes, and the other one you'll sip for an hour.
Because there's a massive difference between making the weight and being dead at the weight, isn't there? You know what I mean? Some people go, oh yeah, I can make that, but they make it and they shadow themselves, the fucked lad. And then there's other people who'll make the weight and make it well, and that can be the difference.
That's it. So if you look at Hader's twice the size of me. Doing like really is, he's fit. He's a middleweight, so he's cutting down from like 100 kg to make middleweight, whereas I'm cutting down from 85 to make middleweight. Do you mean there's a 2 stone difference there? But then Liam, obviously, I'm well bigger than Liam, but Liam's a lightweight, so like I'm too big for Liam's weight. I'm too small for Hader's weight. I'm just perfect for Wetler. My size and my height works in my favour. Do you mean? So, but obviously, like I said, mate, it's just you can be. It's hard in a way. Like this is why I keep about my weight. Like I've got an athlete's body now where like I'll keep about my weight, where it's like it's not actually hard because I'm in that much of a routine, and my normal weight now is just like 84, 85 kg no matter what I eat. As long as I'm training, I can eat what I want. But I don't go ham. Like I won't eat 10 Dominoes in a week because it makes me feel like shit.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, really, yeah.
So like I don't actually like feeling like shit. Like I've just done a week there, I probably spent like 800 quid on food or something like that.
Yeah.
But I felt like I actually feel like how I've been eating. Just because
you feel like shite, yeah, because you're eating it all the time.
Healthy and start training again.
Yeah, it's nice when you're eating clean all the time. It's like, oh fuck, exactly. You could kill for something. But then when you're eating shite all the time, it's also it's balance is nice.
But I'm
isn't
definitely not one of them people. I definitely say like I'm very disciplined. But like if I feel like having like a little, say I'm not even a drinker. But I'm just saying if I was like, oh, I just need to. I'll go and have a drink. Do you mean like I'm not? Or like, or I'll go have that takeaway on it, like because it's like I'll feel better after. It wasn't that bad. I'm actually putting too much pressure on myself, thinking it has to be like that. But mate, I train my absolute arse off. I'm allowed to eat shite. I don't eat shite every day.
Yeah,
so
but now and again, it's
now
okay.
And again, of course, it's
okay. Anything in moderation is okay. Everything's good in moderation.
Like, I wouldn't like to eat 5 takeaways in a row because I'd feel like shite. But if like I feel like I'm just going to go blast a big Chinese tonight, like I'm not arsed. Like I don't deep it that much. You know.
It's not that deep, bruv.
I'm not that deep at all, man. Definitely not.
Anyway. Recovery. What methods do you use to stay in peak condition, and how important is recovery?
I'm quite bad on it, mate. This is probably the only time when I'm going to be more on it because, like, I'm going to get into my yoga. I'm going to get into like more, going to get a little more massages, stuff like it. Mate, it definitely matters, man. You definitely
100%.
You see, like, I'll only get a massage on like my fight week. And I'm like, why haven't I been getting them all the fucking time?
Yeah.
My whole body feels brilliant for fight night, but why doesn't it feel like brilliant every week?
Have you ever had a float? in
the one
floats
in
heavy.
where was it, Wilton?
It's heavy, brother, isn't it?
Boss, mate, it was hard. I'm ADHD, man, so it was hard to sit.
Yeah, it's there for a
I
while.
was like, to be like forcing myself to be in there, you know, but,
Yeah.
But I love to.
But you get used to it the more you do it.
That's
I'm
what I'm
into
saying.
it, lad.
Again, I'm going to book in for them. I'm going to get my massages, the yoga.
They
stretch.
get better and better the more you do it. You know, the first time I ever done it, I was like that. Oh, fucking it, like an hour felt like a while and all that. But then the more you do it, it's like you get into it and you chill and you're like, this is heavy. And then when you come out, you just feel peaceful and at one. And that's hard for me because I have got fucking, I don't know whether I've got ADHD or but I'm fucked
100
up. Yeah, I'm a million mile an hour, so it's hard for me to switch off. Do you know what I mean?
That was what it was like for me. It was just, I was trying to like visualize, but then it's like when I try and meditate. I'll try and meditate, but the meditation video will actually say like,
if your thoughts are drifting, it's natural. This is okay. And you're thinking, why the fuck am I thinking about fucking? Yeah, I know that. I do it myself for that.
That's what I'll say. But you're drifting. You're like,
yeah, it's okay, but please just focus your attention on your breath again. And with an inward breath, why am I thinking about a bowl of cornies? You know, I know that. I know.
But that is true. That's where like my concentration's minimal.
I'm the same, brother. I hear it. The current state of amateur MMA and professional MMA, it's on a massive trajectory in the right direction, and it's really is evolving. But locally in Liverpool, it's a breeding ground for fighters. Do you think there's something in the water here? There's a fighter on every corner.
I feel like Liverpool's been blessed with a lot of fighting gyms from the get-go. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people must have had heart for it right away here, because obviously if you look at the next gens and aspires,
I believe if you can make it here, Jordan, I know this is going to sound mad, but I believe you can make it anywhere because it's tough. Like even like down to like, you know, the local competition, sparring. There's a lot of kids at similar weight, you know, like it's like that in all combat sports in the city. You know, you go to any gym and you can get your head punched in if you want to. You know what I mean? I
feel like my success has come from because I haven't had a background in it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I've had no base, I've had no one telling me, my mindset's just been like, I've come into this late, just fucking give it a bash.
Yeah, give it a go, yeah, there's no pressure on it.
There's no pressure and things have went my way, but I don't put that kind of pressure on myself regardless.
What advice would you give to any young fighters looking to pursue a career in MMA?
Mate, like, we're just touching back to that, you versus you, man, just like, don't let anyone tell you that you can't do this. Like, it's a fact, mate. The amount of people that like I said to you, my granddad, stuff like that, or just like me mates, and like even like I live with Jack Axey, and he was telling me when I first started, like, George, are you really going to pursue this? Like, I don't think it's a good idea. We've been even just a younger kid, but who was very very good at the sport, just saying like, I don't think it's a good idea. Me being real with you as a brother, like I don't think it's real for you to be chasing this at this age, when you've got a little girl and, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's not a sport it's not just like, oh, you're just going to make it and be world champion.
Do you know when people are saying stuff like that to you, and obviously, like, he's a good fighter as well, was it skin deep or did it hit you deep and you go on when you think like, am I mad here, brother, or what?
I remember, yeah, mate, I did, because I remember pulling Phil Turner, like another coach at the gym, aside and be like, listen, is there any point in me chasing this? And he was like, well, why don't you try and just at least make it to pro? That's what I didn't have a belt or anything at this point. I was just kind of just word vomiting to him. I was just like, listen, is there any point? Kind of like, and if he said to me no there and then,
do you reckon it would have broke you?
Not broke me, but I would have been like, right, well, the coaches aren't backing me. Do you know, so like, what's the point? Because Dean and that wasn't giving me like any, not in a way, he wasn't giving me hope.
But he weren't saying, yeah, like, listen, you can do this.
He was being real.
Now though that the momentum's turned and you've got them on board, does that feel special?
So now there's people at my fight just then, like I had that many people come from home who were like, these were all the people like that were saying this to me, there's no point. I remember the conversations I used to have with my mum was saying the same shit, like, you got a little girl, like, what are you doing? Like, fucking go. Now that you've stepped away from that fucking drug life, just go try and get involved and like go chase a proper job, like go for a joinery, go for like, but I can never hold a job down, you know, like never in my life have I been able to hold a job. I have 2 weeks, 3 weeks at most, you mean, like a month, and bam, I'd go in and but I fucking hate this, see you later. Do you mean, just like constantly, mate, never. So I always knew I was meant for something, you know, that's what I generally did.
If it wasn't for fighting, if that weren't an option, what would be your next passion?
I just would have had to deal with just working on sites or something like that. That's just because that was something I always like, I didn't mind doing, you know, it wasn't something like I hated, but like I hated getting up in the mornings and going to work. But when I was there, it was a wage, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Do you know the way you've said, like, you want to go to the UFC and that's the dream? What's the short-term dream as a professional fighter?
Just the coaching side of it, just become really good at coaching, you know, because the coaching has brought me on as a fighter as well.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So like, man, just really chase the coaching, PT and coaching, just I'd like to get side hustles on the go on that, but like I said, mate, I don't know what. Do you mean like it'll come?
It'll find that'll come. It'll come 100%. If you could go back in time and give young Jordan some advice, what would you say? I'm here all night, lad.
Yeah, no, it's always that. If I could go back, just to stop being a tit making stupid decisions. You know, like I always made stupid decisions. I'd cause myself stress over the littlest things. You know, I just feel like I'd go back and tell myself to stop letting little things bother you.
Yeah, stress is self-inflicted as well, innit? We do it to ourselves.
Right now, mate, when I think about it now, all the things that people told me to fucking not do when I was a kid, then I was like, oh, fuck off. Now I'm like, I'm telling other people not to do them things, do you mean? And I'm like, oh my God, they were all right. Do you mean like... So
what's the best piece of advice you've received in your fighting career?
To not care what anyone else thinks and just focus on you. Because that was, like I said, touching back on that, it was just like, don't care what anyone else thinks. We're telling the younger generation, just don't care what anyone else thinks. Like, who are they? Do you mean to say that?
And that's very, very, very hard thing to do, isn't it? Because we seem to care more about what others think than what we think about ourselves.
Massively, mate, massively, and that's something I've tried not to do lately. Is just like this past few years, it's just like not care what else thinks, because who the fuck are they to say that you can't do something? Like, just because they're not doing it, but everyone is on a different path. Do you mean like? No one would have thought I was doing what I was doing now, but if I never fucking listened, if I never said to myself, yeah, fuck them, or like, stop, who are they? I wouldn't be where I am now if I let them go, like, yeah, do you know what, he said, oh, I'm not going to make it, or I probably am going to make it, all right, back to just feeling down in the dumps, do you mean?
Before sitting down with you, Jordan, I had respect for you, but I've got a grown admiration for you, lad. Now I've sat and listened to the story, because I like to come from where you've been and to achieve what you've done and accomplished it with, like, and I know obviously you've had massive support through Dean, Marlon, you know, Liam and the other coaches that you've mentioned. But at first, it's very, very hard when you've got an unwavering belief in yourself. But there's not much mirroring it coming around you, and rightfully so. You know, a kid comes into the gym or a man comes into the gym and you've got aspirations. You're not just going to go, okay, let's drop everything and let's put everything into him. It's like you've got to show something. And when you've just been like a soundboard for yourself, that must have been a difficult process, because it's like, just keep telling yourself, yeah, the beliefs literally come from within, and until it's you know, actually started to come into fruition when you're actually getting in there, and then people can see, and then they believe in what you can see also. That to get it from there to there is very difficult.
Massively, I mean, I generally do. Like I
respect that, brother.
I love like myself for being like that now, because when I look back, I'm like, shit, man. Like when you hear all these other stories about people making it and stuff, it's kind of like the same thing. Just getting told no, they can't, and then eventually they do, and it's like, well, your biggest haters are now your biggest fans. You know, and it's like people that like were, like I said, touching back on that, my granddad, my mum, and all that, like. They're like with me 100% now, you on it. But the conversations I used to have were like, so like, what are you doing? Like, there's no way you'll do that. Like, do you mean they were just being real?
My dad always says to me, like, if you knock on 10 doors, one will open. And if you stay down that path that you want something, it's like, right, I want to be a fighter. You keep trying every single avenue. Eventually, lad, you'll find a way. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way.
Massively.
Is there anything that we haven't touched on, lad, that you'd like to talk about?
I think we've touched on most. Like,
we've touched on the gear, haven't we? Before we go, I'll give you a few little rapid fire questions, just a bit of like that.
Do you like cut some of this like and blurb it together?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to. I'll tell you now. Maybe cut out on the how I met my ex because I don't want to be this. Why the fuck are you talking about your ex in the podcast?
Nah, it's all right.
For the whole world to see.
It's okay. It's cool, brother.
Deep it up like shit. Fuck.
It's all right, lad. Don't worry about it. That's why I said we can say what you want, because we can chop it and change it. Okay, little bit of rapid fire ones then. Boss night in or a mad night out?
Both.
You're the first lad who said that.
Both, because I actually love a night out, man. Like I'm bad. Like once I get out, that's why I don't go out, because like I've still got that. I've all not been doing like this long. So like if I go out, I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. So like that's the thing. There's no in between. Like I can't just have a drink and be like, oh, I don't like the taste of alcohol that much just to have a bit.
Yeah.
Do you mean like if I'm out, I'm out.
You're out.
But I love it. But I do. I'm a joint in that. So it's just I enjoy staying in.
Go-to karaoke song?
Ooh. I'm honestly going to be honest with you because it's one that I always sing Buttercup Baby when I'm up. Do that's the truth, like
Go on.
Buttercup Baby.
Buttercup Baby, do
Yeah. That's one that I always just see myself singing when I'm up.
Legend. Your best post-fight cheat meal?
The stuff that I regularly go for is Five Guys, just because it's always been like, it's just something I'll just go.
You've just shook the mic. Respect for that. I'm the same, brother. One fight you'd love to scrap with? Be anyone, lad. Past or present, dead or alive. You can be anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Just mate, I don't want to be cliche, man, but just John Jones because he was the best. Just because he was the best. I mean,
if you could go anywhere in the world to live, where would it be?
Anywhere.
Anywhere, brother. Go anywhere.
St. Louis, St. Louis, and St. Louis. That's it.
Caribbean.
Yep.
Okay. Favorite spot in the city? In this city?
In this city, Sefton Park.
It's a spot, lad, isn't it? Chevy Park.
Or Crosby Beach. I love that.
Yeah,
I'm
both.
a sucker for sunsets.
Yeah, yeah. One thing on your bucket list you haven't done yet?
Travel to America. Have to do that.
Striking or grappling, you can only choose one.
Striking.
Who hits the hardest in training?
Hader.
There weren't even a thought about that, was there? If we made a movie about your life, who's playing Jordan Rutherford?
Oh.
Like that one?
Yeah, I do actually. I liked Leonardo DiCaprio. He plays all the, plays the roles well, doesn't he? He plays all the roles well, doesn't he?
Have you got any final words, or do you want to do any shout-outs for any fans watching, any family members, anyone who's done something, sponsors, anything like that before we go?
Just a massive thank you to like all my sponsors and stuff as well, who like help me with all my camps and just going forward, because now I'm getting paid monthly off some of them and stuff, and that's massive for me. Do you mean I'm actually like, they're taking time out of their business to pay me stuff monthly, and it's just, I mean, I am so grateful for that, because I never thought I'd be in a position where people would be helping me like that. My coaches, teammates, everyone at Aspire, Combat Base, Phoenix, Tonks, all of them just striving for me to do better in general. And then obviously just like, big thank you, like I said, got new fans on board and stuff, mate, and that to me is massive. So like, I want to keep giving them good performances and keep letting people be, because I'm never in a boring fight, man, so I'm always in an exciting fight. So just stay tuned for a big year from the jump. Like, I generally can't wait for it. Like, this year's going to be boss. Like, I generally will say it now as well. Like, I'm hoping to have a belt wrapped around my waist at the end of the year and stuff like that. So like, these little things now, like in my contract, it says I'm fighting for the belt at the end of my contract. So like, that gives me a big push to keep doing well right now, because I know for a fine fact that I'm going to have gold to train. So and then that's when these next steps start happening after that. So
100%, Jordan, and I'm here for it, lad. I'm going to be watching you, following you all the way, lad. I'm behind you 100%, up the jock. I'd just like to take a moment to say a little shout out to our sponsors, Gratitude Apparel, thanks so much, Matty, and JT Medical Aesthetics by the gym, John. John's a belter, lad, yeah, shout out to John, and obviously my company, Green Lane Blinds, because the podcast wouldn't be possible without it. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in as well, and until next time, peace out.
Nice one.